Yo, 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 yo. Welcome to the S.Ville Podcast. I am your host, Susmoves, and this is the Sustv Network. We're here on episode 26 right now, and let's kick things right off. First and foremost, I'm not going to kick things off with the intro music, just like how I usually do. We're going to kick things off with a couple of things real quick, and then we're going to get right into things. First and foremost, we're gonna kick things off with actually a couple of a couple of little bits of information that I may have found that I think can help us out just in life. You know what I mean? I was looking over I was looking over some information, and and I really think that this can be of some use. So hold on one second. Let me just go ahead and find that for you guys here live. First of all, man, we back with your boy Sus Moves. We back. Thank you for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. This is Sus TV. I'm your host, Sus Moves, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Oh, yo, hey, yo. You know what I'm saying? And that is that on that. So, guys, if you guys need help, just with things like just everyday functioning, much like myself, then here are a couple of facts that can help you out with that. That can help you in your day to day. All right. So the first fact that I have for you guys is that um we actually use 100% of our brains, and it's only a myth that you use 10% of your brain. You actually use all of it. And yes, even when you're sleeping, neurologists confirm that your brain is actually always active. As well as 60% of your human brain is actually made of fat. Not only does it make the fattiest organ in your human body, but these fatty acids are crucial for your brain's performance. Make sure you're fueling it appropriately with healthy brain boosting nutrients. Your brain isn't fully formed until you're age 25. Brain development begins from the back of the brain and works its way to the front. Therefore, your frontal lobes, which control planning and reasoning, are the last to strengthen structure connections. Your brain storage capacity is considered virtually unlimited. I would like to, you know what I mean, write an appeal for that, because my storage capacity be feeling maxed out. It be feeling like Google storage. You know what I mean? When you have to pay that little $10 fee to go ahead and get you a terabyte or whatever. That's what my brain be feeling like. But they claim that the brain storage capacity is actually considered virtually unlimited. Research suggests that the human brain consists of 86 billion neurons. Each neuron forms connections with other neurons, which could add up to 1 quadrillion. That's 1,000 trillion connections over time. These neurons can combine, increasing storage capacity. However, in Alzheimer's disease, for example, many neurons can become damaged and stop working, particularly affecting memory. Brain information travels up to the I'm sorry. Brain information travels up to an impressive 268 miles per hour. When a neuron is stimulated, it generates an electrical impulse that travels from cell to cell. A disruption in this regular process can cause an epileptic seizure. On average, your spinal cord stops growing at 4 years old. Your spinal cord, which consists of a bundle of nervous tissue and support cells, is responsible for sending messages from your brain throughout your body. Your spinal cord is made of a main source. Your spinal cord is the main source of communication between your body and your brain, and it causes neurons in the brain and the spinal cord to die, impact and control muscle movement. Another disease that affects both the brain and the spinal cord, ALS. They're talking about ALS causes neurons in the brain and the spinal cord to die, impact and control muscle movement. Another disease that affects both the brain and the spinal cord is multiple sclerosis. I believe I might be mispronouncing that. In MS, the immune system attacks the protective layer of the cover nerve fibers, causing communication problems between the brain and the body. More on the brain. The human brain weighs 3 pounds. That's about as much as half a gallon of milk. The brain freeze is really It's more of a pain that occurs when it hits certain receptors in the outer covering of the brain, which causes it causes dilations and contractions of the arteries, which which causes the rapid onset headache. So it's not so much like you're freezing your brain. It's just more like you're affecting arteries at such a excruciating, like it's such a whiplash kind of effect that causes pain right away. A piece of the brain tissue the size of a grain of sand contains 100,000 neurons and a billion synapses. However, damage to neurons can have a great impact during a stroke. For example, blood is not able to get the oxygen, you're not able to get the oxygen to the brain. As a result, brain cells can die, and abilities in that particular area of the brain can be lost. Similarly, Parkinson's disease occurs when the cells of a part of your brain called substantia nigra start to die. The human brain can generate about 23 watts of power, enough to power a light bulb. Thank you guys for that. The information was, I actually found all of that on nm.org, so you guys can go ahead and tune in with them for more brain facts and learn more about the body. It's really important that we all tune in and make sure that we have all the information. But without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and give us a little bit, man, of our beautiful, one of a kind intro. S.Ville to the moon, making moves like a yes, sir. Indeed. Indeed. Woo! Hey. Look. Okay. So yeah, I mean, usually we go through the whole rigmarole with all the processes in the intro and things like that, but we are changing up a bit of our process because this is S.Ville the Podcast season 4, and it's really great to be here. In this journey of podcasting, they say that the typical podcast doesn't make it past 6-7 episodes. So I definitely wanted to make it past 6-7 episodes, and I did. I smoked through it. I almost doubled it due to unforeseen circumstances. I had to pause a bit and had a bit of a back and forth and all kinds of things. But what's important is that you stay hungry and you try your best to build consistency over time, and then you execute on that plan. So without further ado, let's get right into it. The topic of today is work lifestyle habits. So that's going to be work lifestyle habits, man. It's ironic that we had all of those facts about the brain and, how it mentioned things like, how we function in different fields, because one of the fields that the brain is constantly working in is our careers. And when you're looking at careers and you're thinking about job choices, the top of the list, the top of the tier, top of the brass in the world globally is entrepreneurship. Now, I'm not here to go ahead and just rattle off, oh, entrepreneurship this, and go ahead and build your business today and LLC that. I'm just telling you the facts. The facts is that, the top 5 careers in the world is it dwells in business. It dwells with it dwells with CEOs and these big these big companies, conglomerates, and the top 5 richest people in the world who own these businesses. They're all entrepreneurs, and they all own multi-billion dollar businesses, and they continue to grow and expand. But and while that is a fact, it's not everything that matters. This podcast has been shifting itself and gearing itself up, and hopefully we're able to tackle this in season 4. Welcome to season 4, by the way. It feels really good saying that. One of the main issues is that people's mental states, we've forgotten how to learn. We've forgotten how to stimulate the brain and find proper balance for the brain. We have overlooked having certain issues. I'm not saying that in every case, of course, everything is case by case, but, it's important to have a bit of depression, actually. It's important, I believe, at least me personally. I'm no professional. You would need to check in with your medical team and, do your proper due diligence to make sure that what I'm saying is for fact. But what I believe is that we're built to have a little bit of depression, a little bit of anxiety and different things like that. I feel like these are parts of what it means to live, having sad moments so you know what happy moments are. And, having moments of struggle so that when you finally overcome that, you know what it's like to be, fulfilled. There is a bit of contradictory in what I say because while that is also applicable, I do want to preface that with I, I I would hope that in a utopian world that everyone can get to the place where we all see that we all can balance out one another. We all can be on the same similar plane, if that makes sense. Because like everyone wants to be rich and famous and all these other things, but then there's all these other people who are suffering. The only way to have that counterbalance is for everyone to just have everything, but everything look different. It's not going to be technically luxury. Everyone's just going to have like their basic essentials. If we spread it out among all of us, then everyone has their basic essentials, nothing more, nothing less. And then we strive for different things. We strive for maybe longevity, on ways to live longer. We put our efforts and we base them in different areas, Yeah. So back to careers. Yeah, entrepreneurship, business, it's all well and good. There's nothing wrong though with a 9 to 5, learning to maintain in a corporation. Well, hold on. We'll be right back. I see we have some technical issues. We back with your boy Susmoves. Thank you for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. This is Sustv. I'm your host, Susmoves. And we'll catch you guys in the next one.
And they're telling me to slow down and take my time, but my heart pace like a race. How could I let it skip a beat once again for mistrust? It isn't love, it's lust, she just wanna fuck again. She don't wanna let it end though, she def don't wanna bring a friend though. She wanted to go like when we roll up, all eyes on us in the middle of the spotlight, dancing at the center of the galaxy. Eyes locked and emotions are a masterpiece, and the strobe lights behind beginning to go off. When the beat kick in, you gon' really leave this life thinking you could've had the illest night. Better make sure that decision's right, matches the price, cause for me it's fuck their feelings, and that's polite. They can seek for spiritual healing while I vibe tonight. And if I may, you looking quite appealing with that dress that's so revealing.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. We back with your boy Susmoves. I do apologize for that. That we had a bit of a technical issue there, but back to the topic at hand. 1 second. Back to the topic at hand. That's a lot better. I want to address 9 to 5s. There's nothing wrong with working a 9 to 5 as long. We just have to get out of that mindset that you either are trapped in a 9 to 5 or you try to become an entrepreneur and you have to do this LLC and then you go ahead and build a business and get robbed, etc., etc. There's nothing wrong with working a 9 to 5 because in those fields, you do have to learn to work hard. You do have to learn how to, win people over while maintaining boundaries and personal space and these different things and these different aspects. You're respecting the company, having that balance there. Becoming a manager or being top in the field is all very important, as well as just striving to maintain the company and always having a presence. You know what I mean? Taking everything to heart and seeing what is for fact things in the company that you as an employee need to do in order to take it to the next level. And I know you're like, why do I need to build this company up? It's not so much about that. It's more about building yourself in the process of doing that. Whether it's a big job or a little job in a company, you want to go ahead and put your best foot forward in just about everything that you do, so that by the time you're running your own company, you're already doing the same. You already built these healthy habits. Um, but one thing that does need to get addressed when it comes to 9 to 5 is that hungry mouths don't get fed. So when you walk into these companies, do assume that they think that you want the opposite of what it is that you want, being top in the field, getting raises, things like that. So hungry mouths don't get fed. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Ask, what do I need to do to get to the next level from the people above you, and execute in that fashion. Now you're gonna go ahead and operate on this plane in this way. It doesn't necessarily guarantee you anything, and no one owes you anything. But you want to operate in this kind of way so that, again, by the time that you're already striving in the field that you want, and that requires that learning that we were talking about before, and a bit of work-life balance, and building up those healthy habits so that you are striving towards your goal, whatever that may be. Maybe in your free time you tend to make music and podcasts for the podcast S.Ville on the Sustv network. And it's very hard to maintain the sleep aspect of it, but you find it all worth it at the end of the day. So just finding out that balance between the two, and just understanding that even if you chose the entrepreneurial route, and you do build this big conglomerate with time and things like that, that there has to be some sort of healthy balance as well in that as well, because life isn't always about money and things like that, and you'll never get back certain family members again who care about you, or friends or loved ones, or maybe you don't have those things, and while you were building your wealth, you end up feeling very lonely. So you do have to try to build up yourself as a person and become a whole person. And that's why it's very good to try to make people more attracted to you, more, become more of a likable person while you're in the field and in the business and outside of the business, and just being an overall great person, so that you can kind of maintain that aspect of having, humans that appreciate having you around, as well as being a great boss that you are, or being a great worker that you are, or chief executive, manager, whoever it is, top in the field. Everyone just appreciates the work that you do. Or maybe you just are the janitor. It doesn't matter where you are, as long as you're striving and grinding for success. Then I believe that that's what really counts, and that's what I try to do. I try to put my best foot forward. I'm not saying that you don't end up in very precarious situations at times, because who likes to try hard and things like that. But if you can just stomach that and really get to just that sweet spot of knowing how to keep certain people at bay, keep it likable, maintain your workflow, getting better at the job, and all of those things, then the 9 to 5 can be very lucrative, as well as entrepreneurship, or using the 9 to 5 to then transfer into that, or doing a bit of both, while maintaining a healthy work-life balance between your friends, family, loved ones, and acquaintances, of course, and building those networks and things like that. Pro tip: try to hit up at least one of your immediate family members per week. Try not to let 2 weeks go by and you haven't talked to them. Moving right along. This is I do have a couple of tips, a couple more tips actually. Main tips though. Pause. I was gonna hit that button at least once, even in all of this maturity. Here are a couple of pro tips from me personally that pertain more to what we're talking about, the topic at hand, not just generalized pro tip that I just threw in there. At least this is what I believe. Always try to remember that in a workplace, your mental health is always top priority. So try to, if you have to take a lunch break and cool out, meditate, whatever it is that you got to do, before work, in the middle of work, on your break, and after work, of course, to try to kind of unwind, because those hours of working for someone else or working 8 hours anywhere can be extremely stressful. 8 to 12, crazy hours. And then coming right back in the next day or whatever have you. Maintain optimism, even if you don't show it. At least be dutiful. People always like somebody that they know they can rely on. Emotionally, look out for those that cling to the job. You know what I mean? Um, and you yourself try not to be clingy, and manage your emotions in stressful situations. Sometimes you deal with people who cling to the company and want it a certain kind of way, and they see you striving and being successful, and they might want to stomp on that. So you need to have a sixth sense for sensing those kind of people and learning how to deal with them. And you need to understand when you're that person, or when you are just not managing your emotions the correct way in the workplace, and maybe that's the thing that's holding you back. So definitely take a look at that. And the final tip would be always maintain professionalism, even if the others, bosses, employers, bosses and other employees, customers, whoever it is, and other staff that come into the building, always maintain a level of professionalism. You always want to be at the top of your game. You don't want people to drag you to a lower level, just energy wise, and just personality and character wise. You want to maintain a high sense of character and morality in the moves that you make. Um, but yeah, those are a couple of pro tips from me. Um, and I feel like just utilizing those different um aspects can definitely help you get to a higher plane and a higher level. Um, yeah, yeah. That is the educational piece. Um, the educational piece to this episode. I just realized that this is not episode 26. I think I confused it. I can always cut that out. So welcome to S.Ville Open Stimuli. I'm sorry. This is Open Stimuli. The Open Stimuli doesn't have episodes. These are just think pieces. Well, let me explain. So I did get this confused. This is not the episode that I said it was. I'm gonna blur it out in the beginning. Welcome to S.Ville Open Stimuli. I wasn't really making much eye contact because with this new informational piece, there are gonna be a lot of notes. There's gonna be a lot of information that I'm gonna start to incorporate. Not so much with the open stimuli. That's I'm gonna break that down in a second. But with the episodes, there's gonna be even more notes, and there's gonna be even more potential looking down for a little bit until I really start to get into a nice flow of things, so I can make eye contact with the beautiful people that is listening to me. But this is a podcast, so I would assume most people are listening to my voice while they travel and things like that, and hoping to get some information that's really beneficial, or at least thought provoking and stimulating. Hence the name Open Stimuli, or just hence the name S.Ville. You know what I mean, and Sustv Network. Susmoves, the name Susmoves, right? So this whole sus thing, um, originally I got Susmoves. It was it had a whole different meaning to it, and I bumped into this, somewhere in college, somewhere at the end of high school, and in college, I bumped into that name, from somebody's acquaintances and things like that, and it kind of just stuck. You know what I mean? And it had different meanings and things like that. I tried to find my own purpose and my own meaning, and I was just finding myself and finding my own way and my own wave. But now, where I'm trying to take, my media presence, I was throwing in a lot of entertainment and things like that, and I just didn't want everything that I was doing to just be seen as one big joke. I didn't want eventually the podcast to start to take a turn for the worse, and people start to see this as a joke and not so much beneficial, or good for your listening ears. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm gonna be playing, entertaining pieces, and getting into jokes from here, from time to time, so we can laugh together. But I still want this to be a beneficial place. I still want this to be a source of information for people. So without further ado, welcome to S.Ville The Podcast. Officially, we are in season 4. I'm your host, Susmoves. Sus now today stands for striving upon successful moves. So that would be Susmoves. Sustv network obviously would just be striving upon success. TV network. You can put a "the" in front of it, and it'll be the striving upon success TV network. So that's just kind of the acronym that I came up with for Sus. Striving upon success, because that's basically what's been my dogfight for a really long time. While I kind of figure out this whole big thing in this really big world, where the big world is really small and everything is all minuscule at the end of the day, right? So then what does that make you? When you think about it, you can depress yourself with those kind of thoughts. So which is a perfectly like at least I think you should seek professional help, of course, and go to your proper resources. But I think that a little bit of sadness, a little bit of happiness, there's a nice yin and yang between the two that help make this world, this world we live in, more livable life, I suppose. Yeah. But striving upon success, or striving upon successful moves, aka Susmoves, aka SustVille, and S.Ville would just obviously be the first letter in the acronym, so Strivingville. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. And you guys, my listening audience, or at least the fan base that I grow, would be my Susvillians, you feel me? So yeah, welcome to the community if you're watching this. And let's take this audio adventure together, man. I definitely am gonna come up with more topics next time around, so that we can really get into things. I might call people up, things like that. This open stimuli is just supposed to be like me going into deep dives and trying different things. I might move cameras around and I'll try different things. I'll meditate for you guys. Maybe I'll try to practice some dance moves or something. Like we'll figure it out. We're gonna get very creative. Or it might just be me here talking and again giving some more information, but I definitely wanted to be in that realm of things. Thank you for listening. If it was a difficult listen, I can promise you that it's gonna get easier with time, because I'm gonna get better at this. I am getting better at this, and I only plan to improve. You will get more content from me. If you saw the new intro for the YouTube account, then you know that you're going to get more content from me, because you heard me tell you what it is that I do. If you haven't, go ahead and check that video out. Just go over to Susmoves on YouTube, and it's going to be that first featured video right there. Or just go ahead and go to my channel. If you know how to find it, go in videos, and it's going to be right there. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell. This is SustV. I'm your host, Susmoves, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.
Does it feel good? Yeah.
S.Ville to the moon, making moves like a movie script. Destiny written is what we do. Thank you for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. This is SustV. I'm your host, Susmoves, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Subscribe. Like, share with your friends, please. Thank you.
Subscribe, hit it, we live, give and hit the bell. So the new vids don't stop, get it, know the deal. We the Ville, run up the M's, shoot past the mills. We are part of the team promoting how to heal. Grind like the ant, you already know it's on our heels. Ain't sus without us, but smooth standing still.
Mixtape
Give love
dropped.
to real ones,
I'm
respect
not sure where this
mutual.
episode is going to come out, but I did drop a mixtape. Please check that out. It's called Check Your DM. Hold on one second. You guys couldn't really hear me before, but I said I dropped a mixtape with my good friend, The Truth. Please check out his content on YouTube, Datruthplays, where he has a lot of great gaming content for you guys. He puts in a lot of hours. I believe he's put in like almost like 200-300 hours in gaming already, and he just started his channel. He's blowing up. So go follow him on his account, that on his YouTube channel. That'd be Datruthplays. We dropped a mixtape called Check Your DM. Yeah. Thank you. Subscribe.
TV versus TV versus.
It'll be out by the time this pod comes out.
Hey.
Yeah.